look in the eye to get the money and all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't ring true. That's just not how it works in prison. That's an American prison. Maybe that's how it works in Ukrainian prison. Prison's prison. Human behavior repeats regardless of what language you speak. And none of that story rings true. Now what we found out is there was a court filing in Kharkov done 2 days ago, I guess, or maybe yesterday. He told a story about being extorted out of $70,000, PayPal account, and they extorted him, and then he did the transfer. Again, how do you transfer money from prison? I'm here to learn, Gonzalo. How do you transfer money while you're in prison? But so he claimed that the prisoners beat him up, threatened to gouge out his eyeballs, punched him in the chest, broke his ribs. He transferred $70,000 from his PayPal account, which, by the way, you got to have a computer to do, I would imagine. I'm sure he has a good story about this. But and all that. Then it turns out in this court filing, what he says is that it turned out that didn't happen. The $70,000 didn't go through. He says there's a technical glitch. And now he fears for his life because he told those prisoners that he was going to transfer the money. Now, I will tell you this: there has been money transactions done in prison. To give you an example, a guard. We'll call him Guard A because we don't want to use his name. He is a pathetic loser of a human being, as most prison guards are, and he can't get laid worth anything. No woman will ever be with him. We have prisoner B, who was a pimp in Philadelphia, and he has a stable of girls waiting for him who are amongst the most beautiful sexually active girls in the world. And pimp B, prisoner B, through a meeting with civilian C, says, have girl D come up here at this bar because he knows where the guard hangs out and fall in love with the guard. And I will pay her when I'm out. And the girl does that, and the guard falls in love, and then next thing you know, he's in the hotel room, and there's a camera up there filming him, and now he's compromised, and he needs money, and he makes the payment, it's all done. But the point is, money transactions happen all the time, but they're never done from within the prison. They're always done from without the prison, meaning that there's things happening, money being moved around, and all that kind of stuff. But Gonzalo's story doesn't ring true. And the same thing about the guards. Again, maybe Eastern European prisons are different, but the relationship that he described wasn't. Anyways, doesn't matter. I think Gonzalo Lira is a liar. I think almost every aspect of this story is a lie. And I think one of the biggest lies that's being perpetrated here is he has to create a cover story to explain to people that he wasn't an SBU asset, because that will destroy him. Right now, everything else that's happening adds to the allure of, this is like a James Bond damn novel, man. This is spy versus spy stuff. Eyeball being gouged out, prisoners holding you down, trying to extort money, breaking your ribs, mad motorcycle ride to the border, brave cigarette smoking, don't make care, I'm going to cross the border. Oh, it's like he's writing a book. He is writing a book, by the way. We know that. He said he's writing a book. None of this matters. What matters is that he was arrested in April, released by the SBU, and allowed to continue to do things that got him arrested. That makes him suspicious.
Back to the broken ribs. I broke my ribs in a martial arts match, and I didn't like to breathe hard. I didn't like to cough. I didn't like to even hardly move, twitch fast, and it lasted for a while because the side effects of broken ribs can't be explained to people who haven't had the broken ribs. But if you've had broken ribs, it is a story for you. Scott, why? The people who may think that this you're just spewing vitriol being at Gonzalo Lira, what do you have to say to them? And why aren't the people critically analyzing this when they can critically analyze everything else?
Well, again, all I say to people is this. You can think whatever you want of me. You can say I'm doing this for X, Y, and Z. Answer the following question. Why was Gonzalo Lira arrested in April? Why was he released? Why was he allowed to do the exact same thing that got him arrested to begin with? Answer that question. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. And that's the bottom line. If you think what I'm doing is vitriol, that's your impression. Trust me, it's not. I tried to stand up for a guy that I barely knew. I put my neck out there. I wrote an article. I went online. I was one of the leading advocates about what happened to Gonzalo Lira. And was I a little frustrated when Gonzalo Lira came back and attacked me for that? Sure, but all I did is just because Gonzalo Lira in my life, they're not like this. He doesn't matter. And so when Gonzalo Lira basically started coming after me, I just went, hit the off switch. We're done. Finished. But the roundtable is more than Gonzalo Lira. The roundtable program is an SBU controlled program that puts at risk the entire alt media community. It has contaminated the entire alt media community. If you've been on the roundtable, you have been contaminated. Doesn't mean you can't be purified. You can't. All you have to do is be aware of it. That's the most important thing. Be aware of the fact that this occurred. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. But at least be aware of the fact that there's the potential. You have to at least acknowledge the potential of compromise. If not, then you're just an amateur. And again, we know there's amateurs out there. We have one, an electro-optical repairman who thinks he's a geopolitical analyst. He's an amateur. He continues to believe that Gonzalo Lira, was God's gift to everything, and Scott Ritter is the most evil man on the planet. To the electro-optical repairman, you're welcome to your opinions. I don't care. But, the point is, what I do care about is that this universe that you and I operate in has been compromised. The roundtable created a forum that allowed behavioral psychological profiles to be constructed. And how many people have gone in and scrubbed their subscriber lists and said, who are the new joins at that period of time? Where do they come from? Nobody's done that. Because why? Because we're all the same. All we do is look at the bottom line. I got 5,000 more subscribers. Yay, me! That's all I care about. And of course, that's all the intelligence community wants. They're going to create bots, send them your way, and then throw a couple of real people in there, and then they'll throw in their people. And their people are the ones that are now in the community. And you just got to be aware of that. This is information war that we're fighting here. The reason why we exist right now is that there is a thirst and a hunger out there amongst a certain audience that doesn't believe, that's lost faith with mainstream media. And so they turn to you, Rashid, they turn to me, they turn to others to get sources of information, to get dialogue, to meet people, to hear things that otherwise they wouldn't get. What I'm trying to tell people is that because of Gonzalo Lira, there's a greater than even chance that this community has been contaminated, and that they're poisoning the well. All I'm saying is you need to be aware of it. You need to be aware. And why isn't Gonzalo Lira being held to the same standards? Because, again, this was a scam from the beginning. I don't want to go too far down. I let people draw their own conclusions about Gonzalo Lira in his past. He's a grifter. I'll just say it straight up. He's a grifter. He's a scam artist. There's nothing honest about his lifestyle coaching. If you go in there, there's plenty of experiences in lying to make money. He became an expert at manipulating a certain class of people, mainly, I won't say it because I guess you get in trouble, but kind of overweight losers that hang out in their mother's basement that don't know how to deal with women. They followed Gonzalo Lira because he tried to convince them that they were empowered and they could treat and put women in the right place. How do I explain that women don't like me? It's not my fault. It's the women's fault. Women are inferior. Women are this. Women are that. Women are this. And that's why women hate them. I mean, there's a lot of ladies out there that I didn't, who reached out to me and they said, we've known about him for a long time. We hate him. I said, well, why? Misogynist. He hates women. He does. Okay, whatever. Put that aside. My only concern is he was arrested, released, and was allowed to continue to do what he was going to do. Why people aren't, holding him to account, I think, is that a certain percentage of the people that follow him today come from that category of people that followed him before he transitioned into Ukraine. Lifestyle coach, lifestyle trainees, and I've taken down their Messiah. I've attacked their Messiah, and they're furious about it. So be it. I don't care, to be honest.